Hello everybody and welcome to lesson 29, Estimation in Division. In this lesson you will be able to estimate quotients by rounding each number to the nearest 10 or 100. Let's get started. First, it's good to know that estimates are not exact answers. They are close to exact answers. The closer an estimate is to the exact answer, the better the estimate is. And we can learn strategies and tools to use to help us get good estimates. So let's get started with an example. How can we make this into an easier division statement? Well, at the bottom it says here that cutting a zero from all the numbers is the same thing as dividing them all by 10. If we cut two zeros off a number, that would be the same as dividing by 100. So essentially, that means we can cut a zero off of 160, we could cut a zero off of 20, and since we've done the same thing to both numbers, essentially we've divided by 10, the answer we get is actually going to be the same as the actual answer. So now the question has become 16 divided by 2, so how many 2's fit into 16? You probably know that it's 8. If you were to punch in 160 divided by 20 on your calculator, you would notice that the answer is also 8. So this is what I mean by doing the same thing to both numbers. We divided both by 10 or cut a zero off of both, and so these two answers become the same. So go ahead and try these. You can pause the video, come back when you are ready. So we're going to try to do the same thing to both numbers. So we can only cut off 1 0 or divide by 10. 60 divided by 2 is 30. 2 30's fit into 60. Here again, we're going to divide by 10. 80 divided by 4 would be 20. I have $8. I want it in 4 equal groups. I would have $20 in each group. Here, this question becomes 36 divided by 9. This is where it is really useful to have strong multiplication facts. To remember them, you ask yourself, what times 9 is 36? And the answer to that is 4. And again, 42 divided by 7, what times 7 is 42? And the answer is 6. The two bonuses become a little bit harder, that's why they're bonuses. Here we would have 321, and here we would have 341. We're going to estimate our quotients by rounding to the nearest 10. So 817 divided or rounded to the nearest 10 would be 820, and 19 divided or rounded to the nearest 10 would be 20. Again, we can eliminate a 0. We can divide each by 10. And 82 divided by 2 is equal to 41. Your estimation strategy is called compatible numbers. So we're going to try to round our numbers in our division question to numbers that work nicely together, numbers that play nicely together in the sandbox. So if we have 187 divided by 6, I can think to myself, well, I know that 18 can be divided by 6, or I can multiply, or 18 is a multiple of 6. So if I count by 6s, I go 6, 12, 18. So I'm just going to round this to 180, and I'm going to leave that 6 alone. I'm going to ignore that 0 for a second. I'm going to say 18 divided by 6 is 3, because 3 times 6 is 18. And now I'm going to add that 0 to the end. So there's my estimated answer for 187 divided by 6. My estimate is that it's 30. If you were to punch it in on your calculator, the actual answer 187 divided by 6 is about 31. It's 31 and a little bit. So you can see that the estimated answer is very close to the real answer. So leave the single digit as it is and take the large 3-digit number and ask yourself, for example, in A, what number close to 37, I'm going to ignore this 9 for a moment, is divisible by 6? And the answer is 36. So I'm going to round that to 360. When I divide, I'm simply going to divide 36 by 6. In other words, what times 6 equals 36? And the answer is 6. And then now I'm going to take that 0 and tack it on to the end. So there's my estimate of 379 divided by 6 is 60. So try the other 3, come back when you're ready. So here I rounded to 420. 42 divided by 6 is 7. And I add the 0 for 70. Here I round it down to 49. Or 490. 49 divided by 7 is 7. Add the 0 is 70. And here I'm going to round to 49 and 756, 560, because 56 divided by 7 is 8. Now, if that seemed a little bit complicated, just be patient. Try to learn the strategy because it is a good one. Let's look at what the actual answers would be. Okay, welcome back. So here are the actual answers. Now, but these two wiggly lines, by the way, like this, mean approximately equal to. So the answer is actually 63 decimal something something. So it's very close to 63, but not exactly 63. In this case, it is exactly 68, so I use the equal sign. Anyway, let's look at our estimates and actual answers. Look how close they are. You can see that in each case, they are very close. So this is a strategy that helps you to get really good estimates. I'm going to use estimating in order to figure out if their answer is reasonable. Here, I'm going to use 210 divided by 3, because if I ignore the 0, that's 21 divided by 3, and 21 divided by 3 is 7. And now I'm just going to take that 0 and add it to the end. So 70 is my estimated answer. So now the question is, are these two numbers close? They're fairly close. They're not like super close, but they're close enough to say that, yes, this is a reasonable answer. All right, let's see here. I'm going to round that to 450 divided by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. And then add the 0. Are these two close? Close enough to say that this is a reasonable answer. All right, so now we're going to try some larger division questions where you can see now instead of dividing by 1-digit divisors, we have 2-digit divisors. So in this case, we're simply just going to round each number to the closest 10. So here this will become 80 divided by 40. Remember, if I can eliminate a 0 in both numbers, then my actual answer, my estimated answer would actually be the same as the real answer. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 80 divided by 40 is also 2. Here we're going to do 150 divided by 30. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And here we're going to do 240 divided by 60. All right, welcome back. And you can see that our estimates were super duper close. Now the exact answers weren't 2, 5, and 4, but they were close enough that 2, 5, and 4 were the closest whole number. All right, that's it for our lesson. Please go back to and review if you need to. Please ask your teacher for help, and please work on page 88. Good luck.